Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, game two of the homestand was on tonight, and the Pittsburgh Penguins could not manage to win this game. They did get a loser point, but of course, the dreaded shootout did them in again. 1-9 on the shootout this season. Oh boy, I tell you, it's just so disheartening when you see them go in the shootout. Let's talk about what they look like post Gino during this Gino suspension time. First line put Chinnikov up there. You know what? I thought the first line played just fine. Chinnikov looks good up there with Rax and Rusty. So I don't have any problem with that. I think they played just fine tonight. Kid line was reunited, so they bring up Avery Hayes and they brought up Billy Koivunen. So they thought it would be a good idea to play those three together with Kindle. Boy, was that a mistake. That line was not up to the task tonight. In fact, the goal that tied it up for Philadelphia to make it 3-3 was mostly on them. I mean, Letang continues to struggle with Sammy Girard. Clearly, Kulak was the guy who was keeping Letang together. And boy, with Sammy Girard out there, those two Frenchmen don't seem to be able to get it together. So that's a problem for the Penguins. Hey, but on the bright side, if you're a Philadelphia fan, they got a debut tonight of one of their prospects, Alec Bump. I tell you what, he was noticeable out there. When he was on the ice in the first period, and I couldn't see it because they were down at the other end. And I'm like, oh, who's that flyer? He looks like he's got some energy. Could take away the good with the puck on his stick. I think he's going to be a good prospect for Philadelphia Flyers. He was definitely noticeable tonight and did get a goal. So good on the Philadelphia Flyers. You know, I hate to say good on Philadelphia because of the rivalry with the Penguins, but honestly, he looks like a winner out there. My buddy Scott has some things to say about him. His son actually played against him up in Minnesota, and really liked the way the kid played. He's always been a good player for Minnesota. Scored some god awful number of goals in a short period of time up there in his high school career, so good for Alex Bump to get a good start to his career. Unfortunately, it had to be against us. And the first period, man, there were a lot of stoppages in play. There was just no flow to the game. But Novak getting on the board early on that power play goal, 2 thumbs up. That was some great passing, some crisp passing right in the slot. He one-timed it, boom, in the back of the net, beautiful. But they gave up a goal 54 seconds later. Come on, Pens, you got to get it together. Tippett scores 54 seconds later in the first period. Avery Hayes brought a lot of energy to that first period. He nailed somebody, and Drysdale took exception to it. They got into a little bit of a scrap. I tell you what, I love the energy of Avery Hayes. I just wish he could get back onto the scoring track like he did when he first came up here, but I have no problem with his energy. I think it's very good for the Pittsburgh Penguins to turn the tide a little bit when things maybe aren't going their way. Definitely look okay out there, but man, as far as him out there with Koivunen and Kindle, they were a disaster. Second line, first line, continue to look good, and Rax gets a goal there. Fantastic. So you're back in the lead 2-1. A minute and 8 later, that's when Alec Bump gets his first NHL goal. It was a beauty. I'll be honest with you. It was a nice shot from the slot. Tough to stop those. Skinner looked all right tonight. He made a couple great saves, but overall he was good. He wasn't the reason the Penguins lost tonight. Let's just put it that way. But Karlsson scores 59 seconds later on a slapper. Karlsson played great tonight. I don't know if you can tell on the television, but on live at the game, he's so smooth. He's taken away the puck from defense on the defense side of things. I just really like the way Karlsson's playing right now. Him and Wotherspoon, they definitely are first pairing without a doubt. Looking great. I mean, he's been playing great in Sid's absence. I think he played just as good with both Sid and Gino out. And hey, he gets a goal. That's what happens when you're playing well. You get a goal. And so then I don't know what Letang was trying to do, get the puck out of the zone. The kid line was out there. Looked like Kindle was making a beeline for the puck. Didn't make it out. Kindle couldn't get back. And a great pass by Mitchie, by the way, to score the goal. It was a really nice pass by Mitchkov. Me and the Schwabini, the Grand Schwabini, have a kind of ongoing thing. He loves Mitchkov. I don't really like him. I think he's not that great, but that was a great pass. So they tied it up. They go into the third period, and the Pittsburgh Penguins in the third period pretty much had the run of the game, but they couldn't get it in. They had a good effort. They had some power plays. They just couldn't get the puck in the back of the net. I don't know. It just didn't look like they had grade A chances. It looked like they were trying too much. They were slowing the play down or trying to get the perfect shot. Sometimes you just got to slap it on the goal, and that's what gets it in the back of the net. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just got to go in. And it didn't go in the third period for the Penguins. Philadelphia had a couple chances in the third, but nothing really to talk about. Penguins had a power play late in the game. I thought that was going to be the winner, but they couldn't do it then either. So we go to overtime, and Vladar gives the Penguins a gift. I don't know why he didn't think that was a penalty. He clearly went out of his way to run into Carlson as he's going by the net. So the Penguins get a 4-on-3 power play, and unfortunately, they weren't able to cash in on that. Once again, I was listening to Muse at the press conference at the end of the game there, and honestly, it was just, he said it the best. Just wasn't fast enough, wasn't crisp enough. We need to be faster. Yeah, Derpy, ugh, just ugh. It's always ugh when you have to, when you lose to the Philadelphia Flyers, especially, 3 in a row now for the Pens. It doesn't seem like it's going to get better, but hey, keep the faith, Derpy. I told you they could lose 5 in a row and still be in a playoff spot. They're still trending for 99 points on the year. That's still a playoff spot. Other teams, they're not taking advantage of this. Islanders aren't passing us. CBJ, Columbus is playing well. But, yeah, loss blows just as much of the fact that we have to wait on 40-year-old man. I know. It is pretty sad when you're like saying, oh, can't wait till Gino gets back. But it's going to be a while, so they're going to have to find some things before Gino makes his way back. Crosby was skating. That's a good sign. I said that when Crosby starts skating, he's about a week away. Okay, let's hope that he's back in 3 weeks, not 4 weeks. That would be helpful. Sidney Crosby, obviously his super addition. We're getting them both back. So let's just hold on to this until it happens. Oh, yeah. Well, we're not talking about, we don't talk about Steelers football during the post game of hockey. Bring that on Monday, Derpy, and we'll talk about that on Monday. As far as the shootout goes, you all know how the shootout goes, but I have to bring it up. We get 2 chances at it, and at least Raquel hit the post. Mantha shot it right into Vladar, and maybe it was a good stop. I don't know, but at least he put it on net, and then Rax hits the post. But I'm telling you, Mitchkov, I thought his should have gone in, but he hit the pad. He had it wide open. He just didn't get it off the ice enough. But Zegras is not going to miss, dude. Zegras is over 60% on the shootout, and when Zegras is out there, he's money. He's just. Did you see the shot? I mean, upper left hand corner. That'd be the right hand side for Skinner. You can't stop it. It's just so fast. He's so good at that. And, Muse got asked in the post conference, what they can do to do the shootout. I wish he would just say it like it is. We don't have the talent to win in a shootout. We don't. We just don't have the guys out there that have that right skill. It's a skills competition, okay? We just don't have the guys with that right skill. That doesn't mean we don't have talented players. We just don't have the right kind of talent. And that's what bugs me so much about the shootout. 1-9 on the shootouts this year. I mean, come on. If we get 2 or 3 of those points, we're almost at 80 points for the year. And I know that's just something that the Penguins, they can't work on it this year. They're overall in overtime and shootout games, they're 6-11, 1-9. So they're not too bad in the overtime games, the ones that, end in overtime, not in the shootout. They're 5-2 in those games. So I don't know. I know you get penalized if you pull the goalie, you lose the point, but I almost wish they would just pull the goalie so they don't have to go to overtime. But you really don't want to lose that point to gain a point. It sounds dumb. The whole overtime shootout thing to me drives me nuts. And it's probably because we suck at them, just like you say, Derpy. Hey, MK, welcome aboard. Glad to see you here in the post game. Do I think they'll bring up Murashov? No, I don't think they will. And the reason I don't think they will is because Skinner and Sheloff seem to be playing pretty good as a tandem right now. If somebody gets hurt, he'll come up for sure. Yeah. Will they put him on the playoff roster? No doubt, 100%. That doesn't mean he'll play, but that means if somebody gets hurt, he'll be on the playoff roster because they expand it, here towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. I think it's with 10 games left. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, no, they're not going to bring up Murashov to play. The goalie play has not been their problem right now, to be completely honest with you, MK. And it sucks even more that it was against the Flyers. Yep, I agree 100%. That's just the way it is. When you're down your superstars, you got to find a way to scratch and claw to get a point. They did get one tonight, but one's not enough. We get back at it tomorrow, Boston. Another afternoon game, less than 24 hours. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I think they found some energy with Kindle and Mantha and Brazeau back. I don't think you'll see that kid line reunited again. They didn't do so well. Dare I even say we might see Kevin Hayes tomorrow? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't mind letting Avery Hayes sit a game just because maybe he'll do better seeing the game from on top. Maybe move Lazat up. They're not going to bust up the fourth line. The fourth line is not bustable. Maybe Hayes can make some of the kids run a little bit better. Koivunen and Hayes. Maybe that's what they'll do. Don't know. I don't think they're going to sit Novak. We'll see tomorrow, though. So Pittsburgh Penguins are losers tonight. They do get a point. Pittsburgh Penguins are 31-31 on the season. They got 76 points. Like I said, they're trending still for 99 points. They're still firmly in a playoff spot. If they get 99 points at the end of the season, they will absolutely make the playoffs. It was interesting while walking on the way out. I was near some Flyers fans, and you know what? They weren't happy with the win either. They want to lose. They realized they're not going to make the playoffs, and they thought actually winning tonight was a bad thing. So I guess we all left PPG Arena a little pissed off tonight, but let's hope the Pittsburgh Penguins can get it back tomorrow. Hey, I'll be back here. You know I am. I'm your Hockey Jesus. I'm here after every single Pittsburgh Penguins game. I'm coming to you a little bit later on this one because, I had to make my way home from the arena. Didn't do it live. I just feel more comfortable here in the studio. So, hey, see you tomorrow. Don't forget to spring ahead. And if you do spring ahead and you hit that bell, doesn't matter. I'm coming right to you tomorrow either way. So until then, enjoy your hockey.